Oh, and we are live.
Hey, hi.
We are coming to you live from the couch of Media Boat headquarters. Well,
Yes.
Well, I guess it's headquarters?
Yeah, I guess, for now.
Yeah.
It's a mobile headquarters.
A mobile headquarters.
We're matching again this week. We keep doing this and we're not even trying.
On purpose.
I think we're doing a light blue last week and now we're a dark blue this week.
Yeah.
Dark blue, dark blue.
I'm waiting to see.
Hold on.
I locked it. I always lock it.
Yeah, I don't know why you do that.
There we go. We're live. Alright, share.
Oh, okay.
There's called a key. No, it's okay. We literally haven't started
Yeah, we
yet.
haven't started.
We're just doing our introduction. Or lack of introduction, for that matter.
Something like that. Oh, okay.
I don't know how I feel about this. I put stop fighting and tune in. To whoever that is specifically targeted for.
Whoever may be feeling that right now.
I'm feeling it.
Diffusing it.
I'm feeling it. Adam feeling it. Alright, that's for you.
Thank you, sir.
That's for me.
Thank yourself. Can you press later on that?
We
And then say try tomorrow or remind me tomorrow.
try it tonight. Try it tomorrow. Let's share. I got my friends that were live because I keep telling them and they're like, oh, I'll do it. See, if I direct message them and they see it, there's no way they can make the excuse.
It's like it happened. It's real.
Yep, we're live. Alright, so that's going. We can watch the chat right here. And we're going to begin right now. Thank you all for tuning in.
Right now. Hi.
Not hi, hey.
What?
It's not hi, hey yet.
Hi, hey, hello?
No, you always start off with hi, hey, what, huh?
Not all the time. I change it up every once in a while.
You think you do, but you don't. Alright, now we're live. Now
Hey,
we're good.
welcome.
Hello.
Hey, welcome. It's the Media Boat Podcast. Today
We got
is...
potting.
Yes, we're potting. It's April. It's April the 10th, 2019. This is episode 170, I believe. It's big 170.
I believe so, yes.
My name is
this up.
Matt. His name is Mike. This is the Media Boat Podcast. This is a podcast that is about news, about media, as the name implies. Specifically movies, television, music, and video games. Not necessarily in that order, but some sort of order like that. So yeah, we give you news, the breaking news. We talk about what we've been watching, listening to, enjoying. We give you all the new releases to look forward to, all of the above and more. If you've never listened to the podcast, that is a boilerplate definition of what we do here. So welcome.
Welcome.
Enjoy your stay.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Mike. He's Matt.
Yes.
And we talk for hours on end.
Well, hopefully. Not in one show.
Well,
Unless you listened to our March Madness bracket that we did this year. So every year we do kind of creative non-sports bracket of something that we love in the month of March. This year we did video games. We have officially wrapped up the main bracket for the video games, video game franchise bracket that we did this year. If you want to listen to those, they are on the same podcast feed. So just check us out. Just search Media Boat Podcast in your device of choice. And yeah, you'll find our recordings there. But yeah, we went off 2 hours and change on our final one to determine what we think was the greatest video game franchise.
and boy, did we talk that.
We talked a lot.
We talked a lot.
We're not done. We have a bonus, by the way, coming up this weekend.
Yes, bonus episode, just like the bonus Jonas.
Yes, so tune in to find out what that is. But in the meantime, this is the Media Boat Podcast. This is our usual show, and we always start with the movies, and we always start movies with the weekend box office numbers.
All right. So, I called this. I called number 1 here.
You did.
But I overshot it.
I won the under, so
yes.
we knew that...
But you also said Pet Sematary.
Yeah, that was like an maybe. I was going to take the under no matter what, but I was like, then there's a chance that this could happen. Well, that didn't happen. Shazam, your new DC film, your number 1 movie this week with $53 million debut. So yeah, that's under, what did you have it at, 70? Yeah.
Yep.
Under 70, not surprising. Pet Sematary, as we mentioned, the Stephen King adaptation comes in at number 2 with a $24.5 million debut. Disney's Dumbo slips to number 3 at $18 million, adding to its $76 million total. Number 4, Us, another $13 million. That's sitting at $152 domestic. That's really, really good. And lastly, round out your top 5 this week, Captain Marvel, with another $12 million. That's at $373 million.
That's just domestic, too.
Yeah. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, like we said last week, it easily hit the $1 billion mark.
Worldwide. Yeah, that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, not a question.
So that makes up for whatever Dumbo's going to pathetically make, I guess.
Yeah, Dumbo creeping. I wonder what Tim Burton's thinking. Because this is like second in a row disappointing debut for a Disney film that he's directed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, yes.
The last one was the sequel to the Alice.
Did he direct that?
Yeah, I think he directed both of those, right?
Okay, maybe.
I think so.
I know he did the first one.
Correct me if I'm wrong, people at home.
People in the chat, correct us if we're wrong. Who directed?
Speaking of which, yes, if you're watching
Glass?
live on YouTube right now, you can chat with us. We do read responses, so please, this is an interactive show. If you're not watching on the chat, if you're listening to this afterwards, well, don't worry. If you have questions to ask us, you can also email us. Email us at mediaboatpodcast@gmail.com. We will read those and respond to them.
Yes, and we'll plug all of it at the end.
Yeah, I always forget to say that one, so I wanted to fit it in
Gmail.
here while we're talking about it. In fact, it looks like we have a comment right now.
Yes, hi from the airplane, from the Mile High Club.
Whoa! Somebody in the sky is trying to talk to us.
Yes,
that's pretty impressive. I myself will be on an airplane in just a few short days.
Yes, and then I'll be doing a solo. Well, I won't be doing a solo cast. I'll get someone.
We'll figure something.
I'll drag Mark on here.
We'll see what happens.
All right. Anyways,
so that's your box office for
office.
the week. So, what about new releases? You ask.
What about new releases, Matt?
Thank you for asking. Coming up this week. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 movies. Something for everybody.
4 movies? Oh,
4
wow.
4 movies. First up, After. When are you going to see this movie? After it comes out.
Well, you should see it after you read the book it's based on.
Okay, so what's up with After?
It's based off a young adult novel. Bestseller.
Okay.
I have no idea what this movie is about. That's all the ads are saying.
Doing good.
I believe
they so far.
Teens fall in love.
Okay.
Or do they after one of them dies, maybe? I don't know.
I doubt that that's what that's about, but okay.
All right, what else is coming out this week?
If that doesn't sound good, the reboot of Hellboy.
Ooh, you mean the remake? Reboot?
Yeah, reboot.
I guess so. With David Harbour from Stranger Things.
Yes. And this is not Guillermo del Toro? He's not involved? Or is he in production role?
No.
At all? So nothing?
Nothing.
Okay.
No. But apparently it's been getting terrible reviews, according to the chat.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Great. So probably don't see Hellboy.
Yes, but then again, Shazam got good reviews, and it only made 50, so
who knows?
Who knows?
Also out this week, Little.
I'm sorry.
Little.
What is it? Little.
So Little.
Little.
I understand that this is kind of like Reverse Big.
It's Reverse Big.
Yeah, where like the woman is like makes some sort of deal with a child.
No,
or something.
The CEO of a fashion thing is mean to a child, so the child wishes she was little.
Got it. And so she becomes a child, an adult person in a child body.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the kid hits on the teacher, who is the guy from This Is Us.
So awkwardness ensues, in other words. So,
yes. Awkwardness.
Interesting concept. We'll see how that one turns out. And then lastly, for you animated film fans, the new Laika movie is out this week, Missing Link, where they, I guess, encounter the missing link, the this evolutionary step between ape and man.
Yes, who happens to be Zach Galifianakis.
Which I already kind of knew that if anybody was going to be the missing link, it was Zach Galifianakis.
Anyways, it's him. It also stars Zoe Saldana and Hugh Jackman.
All right.
In leading voices, as this is an animated stop-motion animation film.
Cool.
But yes, Laika always does good stuff. I'm cautiously optimistic because while I like what Laika does, I don't find anything good about this concept.
Yeah, the trailers haven't been too impressive so far, but the studio did bring you Kubo and the Two Strings.
Yeah, and that was surprisingly great.
Yeah, so who the hell knows? I bet this ends up being fine. So yeah, those are your movies this week. Excited?
That's quite a roundup of films. I have no idea what's going to win out.
That's it for new releases. Did you see any movies before we go into movie news?
I saw Ant-Man and the Wasp, continuing my Marvel deconstruction, leading up into Endgame.
Okay. You're deconstructing these films?
Yes, I'm deconstructing these things for my doctor.
Deconstructed Marvel films?
Yes.
See, like the pieces of them are on the plate, but
well, currently they are in pieces.
Yeah.
Thanks, Thanos.
Well, I did not see any new movies this week, so we can go right into news.
All right, and we'll start with something, well, kind of a follow-up, I guess.
Yeah, so we talked about this when they announced that this was going to be a thing. The Criterion Channel.
Criterion Collection.
Channel, yes.
Well, yes,
so
channel.
If you're familiar with Criterion Collection, that means you have a lot of disposable income. But also, you must be a fan of collecting classic movies. They are, of course, the premium disc versions of classic movies packaged with never-before-seen interviews, documentaries, commentaries. But they basically pack in all these special, and it's supposed to be the best print of these classic movies possible. So that company, or at least the brand, is now bringing you a streaming service called the Criterion Channel. The streaming service is up and running. After, if you remember, the previous domain that used to run its place, Filmstruck, was halted.
Yeah.
They basically shut Filmstruck down and then said, don't worry, we're going to be doing something called the Criterion Channel. It's going to be basically the same thing.
And here we are, 6 months later, I guess?
Something like that.
Yeah, because the end of last year, they struck it down. They struck it down.
Yeah, so it's very exciting.
Yes, we figure this is what they should have been doing the entire time, but now they see there's a market for this. Hey, for those of you who love Criterion collections and old films, or for those of you in film school who need a way to watch all these films, this is a good way to do it.
Real quick, catch up with the chat. A chatter just asked, thought that when you said that it was going to be someone from This Is Us, that they got really excited thinking it was going to be Sterling K. Brown, and were disappointed that it wasn't.
No, it's the white guy.
It's the white guy.
No.
Not as excited.
If it was Sterling K. Brown, I would say it's Sterling K. Brown, not the guy from This Is Us.
It's fair.
Because I know who Sterling K. Brown is.
But anyway, so the Criterion Channel, the site will hold more than 1,000 films and hundreds of special features, and even original programming.
Ooh.
There's a 14-day free trial, which afterwards would charge you $10.99 a month, or an annual fee of $100 a year.
Which, $100 is usually what you pay for the Criterion Collection anyways?
I mean, getting there, especially the multi-disc combos.
Right.
Generally, a movie is not going to throw you that much. It's going to be closer to 40.
No, but I think for the collections, they usually do 100 films for $100.
That's a lot.
But yeah, this is thousands of films for $100 a year.
In case you're wondering what you can play this on...
What could I play this on?
Well, thank you. We can't do that every time.
I know.
The channel is available on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Roku, iOS, and Android. It is not, at launch at least, available on Xbox One or PlayStation 4. So if you have a video game console and you're excited to use it on there, so far, no dice. You have to wait until at least they announce an app for those platforms.
But they are working on it. As for the Switch version, no word. Silence.
Oh, yeah, no. Like, the Switch is a harder sell because it's so much of a portable.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it took forever for frickin' YouTube to get on the Switch.
Took
I think,
for
like,
Netflix.
last month, I think, is when they finally put YouTube on the Switch. So, yeah. Don't hold your breath, is what I'm saying. All right. Our next story is about
a duo.
A duo that's at least going creatively their separate ways.
Yes. So, the Mexican standoff. Okay. I know how you want to put that.
Anyways.
Senor Gary Sanchez will be leaving.
I was going to say, how about, let's put it this way, they're butt fumbling their way out of this relationship.
You could say that they're kicking and screaming their way out of it.
That's
the better joke. That's the better joke.
I was working off the Sanchez. Anyways, so yes, this makes no sense to the uninitiated. We're talking about Will Ferrell and Adam McKay, who, for the last decade and extra, I guess you could say, have been working together in a creative relationship under the name Gary Sanchez Productions. They've put out some movies. They've produced some television shows. What would be the most notable thing that came out of this? Probably Anchorman, right?
Anchorman, Step Brothers, Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
Anything starring Will Ferrell. Elf, I think, is the first one under it. Or was the first film that they did together, Adam McKay and Will Ferrell.
Okay.
But those two actually met back on SNL.
Right, yes. They do have DNA going back to SNL. In fact, so here's the story. So yes, Will Ferrell and Adam McKay have mutually decided to branch out separately and refocus their creative efforts. They will continue to see through their existing projects to completion and develop them with the attached producers. As you said, the duo met when they were hired the same day on Saturday Night Live back in 1995, and 10 years later formed Gary Sanchez Productions. After that, they started the viral comedy site Funny or Die, which has now become kind of its own thing.
Yeah,
without Adam McKay.
Self-running, right?
Yeah. They will of course remain close friends, but their creative endeavors have already kind of taken them in different directions. As you well know, Adam McKay has now become a big shot director and screenwriter in Hollywood, with directing The Big Short and Vice most recently.
Academy Award nominated.
Both of
Big
them.
Short and Academy Award nominated Vice.
And Will Ferrell, it looks like, has the shorter end of the stick, because his endeavors without McKay have been The Total Bombs, Daddy's Home, and Watson and Holmes.
I believe those are his last two films.
Yes, and both of them...
Oh, that's Daddy's Home 2, by the way. That's a sequel.
Yes. Both Daddy's Homes,
yes.
And Watson and Holmes. So yeah, I don't know about Will Ferrell's choice in scripts. Is I guess what this means is that maybe he needs to be a little bit more discretionary than he has been.
Maybe he'll take more serious roles, less comedic.
What was
more
the last
dramatic?
thing? Like, what was the last thing? Was that Everything Must Go? When it was like, oh, Will Ferrell's doing a serious role.
Was that Everything Must Go? No, you're thinking of Stranger Than Fiction.
No, this was after that.
This was after that?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it was.
Yeah, I think that Everything Must Go was the last time he tried that.
Okay.
Yeah, Stranger Than Fiction was before that.
Right.
But yeah, who knows what the future has in store for either of them. Adam McKay, probably more Oscars. Will Ferrell, I don't know. He'll probably host SNL again.
Speaking of hosting SNL, Adam Sandler will be hosting SNL for the first time.
Oh boy. Wait, that hasn't happened?
That has not happened.
That is insane.
He has not been back since he left.
Wow. I just assumed he had been by this point.
Right?
It's been like, yeah.
No.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for that story. So, I understand, according to these notes, you lied to me earlier, and then you did watch a movie.
I did watch a movie?
Yes. I'm guessing this is on a streaming service.
Yes. This is not a film in theaters, but it is a film on Netflix called The Unicorn Store.
I want to buy a unicorn.
You can buy this unicorn. It stars and directed by Brie Larson.
So I have heard of this.
Okay, you have heard of this because this is all over the Twitter sphere.
Right. But I haven't actually heard anything about it. All I've heard is like people are like, oh yeah, Brie Larson's involved.
Yeah, she is.
And it's like That's all I've heard.
Yeah, she is.
So what is this?
Brie Larson's involved.
Okay, but what is this?
I'm not sure.
You watched it?
Yes, I watched it. My I'm not sure is I watched it, I understood it, I'm not sure what I was trying to get at. It's partly a growing up film, but
It's like
then
coming of age
like
thing?
you're coming to the age when you're 30.
Okay. I mean, hey, some people do.
Yeah,
Late bloomers, we call
I guess
So,
that's what this is.
them. Is Brie Larson in this?
She stars in it. Yes.
Okay, so she's the lead.
She's the lead.
So it's about her.
Sam Jackson is also in this.
Oh, okay. So their second collab of 2019.
Yes.
So what? Again, what is this? I keep asking you. You're not answering. What is Brie Larson in this movie? What's happening to her?
Brie Larson is a dropout art student
Okay.
who, by her parents, is forced to get a job, a boring job in HR.
Of course.
Yes. But being the creative type she is magically offered a unicorn by Sam Jackson.
Oh, okay. So Samuel L. Jackson wanders in and was like, "Here, Brie, buy this unicorn off of me."
No, not magic. No, she doesn't watch her. He magically gives her an envelope somehow.
I don't know how you're using the word magic here.
It is magic because the envelope literally appears out of nowhere.
All right.
So magically, Brie Larson gets this envelope specifically addressed to her to come to the store, the unicorn store, where Sam Jackson is prepared to offer a unicorn to Brie Larson if she can prove herself
Okay.
to be worthy of a unicorn. That's why I say it's weird.
Okay. So,
This is a weird film.
all right. Is it funny? Is it a comedy?
No, it's more serious. There's comedy elements. Brie Larson
Serious?
wears a ton of goofy outfits.
Okay.
So it's like part comedy. The dialogue is snappy, but it's also like super serious in terms of
All right.
like trying to emphasize the themes of like growing up, being an adult, but also like having your own identity and being yourself.
Gotta be honest, you're kind of selling me on this.
Okay, yeah, it's weird.
It sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a weird
Like,
film. I
alright.
kind of dig it, but it also kind of like breaks a lot of rules. It is our first time directing it, but it breaks a lot of rules that it sets up in universe.
Oh, okay.
Um,
There's not a lot of in-film logic.
no,
Okay.
especially I mean you're dealing with a unicorn.
Oh, well, yeah, like, that's the thing, though, is I feel like as soon as you introduce a unicorn, all bets are off.
Yeah,
right? Like,
it is.
It's just like, there are magical things happening in this universe.
Yes, but there's also like super serious things happening in this universe.
I was just talking to someone
there's also
about...
no real definitive ending with it either.
Okay. Because I was just talking to somebody recently about my problem with, like, when things get too magical realist, which is, like, if they're too serious, it's just not fun. Does this have that problem?
Not until the very end, but by then there's like 10 minutes left,
All right. Well, okay.
if that.
Okay. Well, this is interesting. I might actually check this out.
Yeah,
We'll see.
it's a pretty good film. It's on Netflix. It was made for Netflix, by Netflix, to Netflix.
For Netflix.
From Brie Larson.
Made of Netflix's.
Brie Larson didn't write it. She just directed it and started it.
Okay.
And produced it.
So everything but.
Yes, everything but.
All right. Okay, so Unicorn Store. Anything else before we move on into television?
The trailer for The Lion King, the official first trailer, is out.
A lot more glimpses at the other characters.
Yes. However, you still don't see them actually talk.
No.
It's still voiceovers. James Earl Jones is back in it, sounding a lot more older, a lot more wiser.
Well, yeah.
He's also the only returning cast member for it.
Uh-huh.
Also, I as of like yesterday, I am staying off of the internet, like Avenger, anything related to the Avengers.
Oh yeah, you're
because
gonna get spoiled.
spoilers are starting to leak out.
Yes.
As the film literally is several days away, 20-ish. Well, actually, we're less than 20, I think.
It's within the month now.
Yeah, we're 18 days away. 15. We're 2 weeks. We're 2 weeks away.
2 weeks
from Avengers Endgame. As such, the Avengers themselves will be hosting Jimmy Kimmel and going on there and showing clips and basically doing a bunch of PR stuff. The actual film, however, has not had its premiere yet. Its premiere will be the 22nd.
Okay.
That week leading up to its worldwide premiere.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens when we get there.
Yeah, but as it is kind of like winding down, spoilers are out there. At least I assume they're spoilers. They're like from the person who was on the actual set, from the person who did the actual VFX. It's like these guys know what they're actually doing.
Okay.
All these are, of course, in big, huge air quotes because the internet and
Right.
Reddit and 4chan and all the other
the dark corners.
dark corners of the web.
So just stay clear of the darkness. Which is really my advice for anybody who goes onto the internet. Stay clear of the darkness.
Yeah, it's also a good life motto as well.
Yeah. Bad things happen in darkness.
That's why it's the darkness.
Turns out.
Yes.
That's why they call it that. No, that's not why they call it that. All right, let's move on then to television. We always start television with sports.
All right, we have a lot of sports to get through here.
First up, we have wrapped up the college basketball madness. Madness is over. Everybody can turn sane now.
Yes, everyone was let loose from
Yes.
the Sanctorum.
The mania is over as Virginia has won the men's tournament and Baylor has won the women's tournament.
Yes, 1 year ago, Virginia made it to the finals and lost a horrific defeat.
Well,
This
they got
was
their
a-
shining moment.
Yes. Damn it, you took the words right after my mouth. They got
I
their
wanted to beat
redemption.
you to the shining moment joke.
Yes, I say they got their redemption. They got their one shining moment.
They got their one shining moment.
Damn it! So this is, you did it to me finally.
Yeah, I did too.
I got the joke. You got the joke before me.
Also in sports, the AAF, which you have, I guess, gotten auto-corrected as the FAA here.
Nope, not the FAA.
Definitely not the FAA. The AAF, that was that alternative football league that tried to start this year, has officially closed due to financial reasons.
Yes, financially being, they couldn't pay their players.
The dream is over.
However, the dream is not over, as the XFL will still be happening next year.
Cares? Moving on.
Next year.
WrestleMania happened.
Speaking of the XFL,
Apparently, people really enjoyed it. It was a good show this year. Some underdogs finally won the championship.
Yes.
Some technical snafus happened, but other than that, though, I heard it was a very entertaining year.
yes, it was fine. I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
for
watching
those
it.
who are
For the-
probably more invested in wrestling than here at the Media Boat Podcast, they probably had a lot more fun than we.
Yeah, well, this is like watching the Super Bowl once a year.
It is.
It is. It's the Super Bowl of wrestling.
Wait, isn't the Super Bowl also once a year?
Yes, but
Okay.
it's the
So
Super
it is
Bowl of
exactly
wrestling.
like that
Yes.
because they're the same.
Yes.
Got it.
Sure. Logic.
Yes, logic. But next year, they've announced it will be in Tampa Bay.
Yes, they started playing a severe ripoff of Pirates of the Caribbean as they announced
You
it.
got to. You have to.
Well, because it's in the Tampa Bay stadium
Oh.
where the big pirate ship is.
Oh,
where
they
the,
got that big ship.
where the Buccaneers
Oh,
play.
they got wrestle on the
That's
ship.
why it's Tampa.
Oh, they got to wrestle on that.
They
big
got to
ship.
wrestle on it.
When you have a big ship, you wrestle on it.
You gotta do
Everybody knows
Yep. Jersey. Yes, it was in Jersey this year in MetLife Stadium.
Yeah.
And Colin Jost and Michael Che were there.
Why?
Because Colin Jost, I don't know why. Because SNL. But Colin Jost wore the really recently new Browns OBJ jersey into the stadium.
Oh, boy. I bet he did.
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
And he got the reaction he wanted.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess that I don't know. I saw a tweet. I was almost gonna rip off this joke, but I probably should say it was not mine. I saw a tweet that was like, "Well, I finally have something in common with wrestling fans. We both hate Colin Jost." Anyways,
Anyways, Drax the Destroyer was in there, and he got destroyed.
You sent me a picture of Dave Bautista getting what was it? Getting taken out of his
nose
face?
ring.
A nose ring
Ripped out of his face with pliers. That's what wrestling is now.
That's where we are, apparently. Anyways, moving on, though. Speaking of Jersey,
Oh yeah, we're not done yet.
the New Jersey Devils suck. And that's why the NHL season is over, and they're getting the first pick in next year's draft.
They don't suck. They got lucky. They had a 12% chance of getting the first pick, and they got it.
Yeah.
The other teams who suck that I care about, the LA Kings, got the 5th pick, and the Anaheim Ducks
Yes.
got the 9th pick, or 8th pick. 8th or 9th.
So who is going on to your playoff picture? You don't have this here, but I'm assuming you know.
Every other team.
Thank you for that wonderful sports reporting, as always.
I'm not going to care about NHL. The hockey is dead for me.
I know your team's not in it, but out of curiosity.
I'll report back on that.
Right, fine.
Yeah, playoffs will...
Playoffs?
Hockey playoffs will start this week.
Yes.
Yes, Adam, your Jersey team gets the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
They losed for Hused, as we say.
They lost for Hus.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't really do it the other way.
No, you can't.
All right. Moving out of hockey, basketball is also over. The playoffs are upcoming for that as well.
I think that final game of the regular season is this weekend, and then they'll start playoffs.
Also ending, the NBA's relationship with Magic Johnson as president of basketball. ... Operations.
Of the Lakers.
Yeah, when I saw this on Twitter, it just said Magic Johnson resigns as president of basketball.
Yes, it cuts off.
And I thought that was the funniest headline. So I tweeted about it. But yeah, no. The president of basketball operations of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yes. He'll be...
In a hilarious speech.
He will be stepping down.
If I 100% recommend everybody listening to this, if they have not already, go watch the speech, his resignation speech.
It's great.
I don't know what the hell is wrong with that man, but it's hilarious.
Apparently, he signed LeBron thinking he'd get them to the playoffs.
Yeah, so much for that.
Yeah. The Lakers now become not just Jeannie Buss's team, but LeBron's team.
It's LeBron,
as their coaches, like the entire coaching staff, will probably be fired minutes after the final game, if not seconds.
I love basketball. Not. All right, next up, though.
But because basketball is ending,
if you like things slower than basketball, much slower.
Okay, where are you going?
The Masters are this weekend.
No, you missed one.
I did not.
Yeah, you did.
Where did I miss it? Oh, I did.
Yeah. Magic Johnson is leaving basketball, but he's not the only one basically retiring from basketball. As one, Tyler Kulik, no, Dirk Nowitzki will be retiring, or is retiring, has announced his retirement at the end of the season. But also Dwayne Wade, he's actually been going around doing a trading of the jerseys with current players, giving his jersey away and taking players jerseys who he admires for his own collection. And Budweiser actually put out a really touching 5-minute video that you should all watch. It literally brought me to tears. It's beautiful to watch. But yes, Budweiser, bring me to tears.
I love when brands make me cry.
I know.
It's the best.
It makes me want to buy the product more than just a regular ad.
Ugh, disgusting. All right.
But yeah, it's I think it's titled like "Here's to 3," or no, this one's for 3 or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, watch that on YouTube. It's very touching and moving. Yeah, I cried on that watching it, or I teary-eyed watched it.
Fair enough. That's it for sports.
Baseball
continues.
Yes, and this weekend is the Masters.
Yeah,
get your drafts in.
Yeah.
That's a lot of sports.
Yeah, baseball continues. There's no real breaking news about that, but yeah.
Nope, baseball continues to be baseball.
Yeah. All right. That means we're done with sports, which means we can move on to proper television news.
All right.
First up, we got some Disney news.
Okay. So, as we know, Disney Plus is coming.
Yes.
At some point.
Sometime. Question mark. TBA.
Yes.
TBD. But when it does, we'll have another show. This time, an animated show. I was wondering how long it would take to get an animated show announced. Well, we're finally here. And it's a TV spinoff based off of a lot of people's favorite Pixar film. Guess that Pixar film. I mean, you wrote this, but...
Toy Story.
If you didn't know, no, it's not Toy Story.
Really? They have, like, shorts for it built out.
No, it's not getting a series. What is getting a series, though...
is Inside Out.
No.
Damn it.
That would be way better. No, instead...
Cars.
No. That would be way too predictable.
I know.
No, instead, it is Monsters, Inc. It's getting a show called Monsters at Work. They've gotten the original voice talent back. John Goodman as Sully, Billy Crystal as Mike Wazowski, John Ratzenberger as the Yeti, which is weird because that was like a one-scene part, Jennifer Tilly as Celia, and Bob Peterson as Roz. They'll all be returning to lend their voices alongside newcomers Ben Feldman, who you can see is in Superstore, Kelly Marie Tran, who of course was in The Last Jedi, Henry Winkler.
Yes, that Henry Winkler.
Aisha Tyler.
Yes, that Aisha Tyler.
And Alana Urbach, who was in Coco.
Yes, they got some heavy hitters behind this series.
It's very exciting. The show will pick up 6 months after the original movie and follow an eager and talented mechanic who dreams of working on the laugh floor alongside Mike and Sully.
Yes, so they no longer do screams. They do laughter.
Yes.
As noted, or spoiler alert from the first film, I guess.
But, that film is over 15 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, the people have seen it.
Yeah.
Disney is set to announce plans for the streaming platform, by the way, during an investors presentation tomorrow, so Thursday, the 11th. So stay tuned. Unfortunately, you have to learn this news from an investors call, but afterwards, I'm sure you'll see headlines.
I'm sure someone will be tweeting it out. Someone will be putting it in news articles. CNET probably. Yeah,
you'll probably see a headline tomorrow. I'm hoping that this is a launch date and also pricing. That's what I want to see.
This is shareholders, so it's probably... Yeah. Well, we know it's in the fourth quarter.
It's got to be financial stuff, which would be launch and pricing.
Well, I don't know, because they've been doing investors meetings this entire week, which is why they showed like the first 20 minutes to their investors, which is why there's spoilers out there for Avengers Endgame.
I don't know. I'll be disappointed if we don't have some sort of price point tomorrow.
I can see them saying this is everything that we are currently working on and in production. I could see them doing, if it's going to be like Disney Plus specific, The Mandalorian.
Right.
I can see them saying this is what's in development for the Marvel stuff.
Right.
This obviously,
and whatever else spin-offs they have of the Disney stuff.
Right. To basically call the investors saying like, we have all this stuff that is a surefire going to get people to watch.
All right. Well, we'll see.
I'm not so confident on price point or date yet.
I hope so. That Criterion price point of $10.99, I think that would be the perfect number for them.
Yeah.
By the way, that's my opinion. Also, just real briefly before we finish up this story, while we're on the subject of
Disney
pricing for the streaming services, I got word today that YouTube Television, their live TV offering, is also getting a price bump. Okay. They will also be moving up to $50 a month. So,
for live TV.
For the live TV package. That means that all of them are now $50 or more. None of them are under that. Are at that 40-something price point that we saw them all launch at.
I think PlayStation View's base.
Yeah, is like
maybe
maybe by $5.
Maybe by $5.
But yeah, I guess it's because they made some sort of deal with the Discovery networks.
Yeah,
YouTube did, and so they're going to get more networks, but they had to subsidize that by raising prices.
Nah, it's $5 more.
Still sucks.
Yeah.
All right. Next up in television news, of course, it's the moment you've all been waiting for this weekend. Game of Thrones is back on HBO.
Whoop whoop! Who's gonna sit? Who's gonna sit?
The final season begins Sunday, but guess what? The author, George R. Martin, doesn't think it should be the last. Because he never ends anything, right? Book joke.
He doesn't know how to end stuff.
The show is about to end its story after 8 seasons, 73 episodes, when all is said and done. However, we know this isn't really the end. There are 5 potential spin-offs in the works, and one of them is already gearing up for production. In an interview with Martin, he noted that several characters have died in the show that are still alive in the books, and vice versa. George R. Martin, who of course wrote the first book way back in 1996, hasn't released a new book in 8 years.
Yeah.
The upcoming book, The Winds of Winter, will only be the 7th entry in the series.
Yes. He has no end game, unlike the actual TV show, which is why last season they officially caught up to the books. They caught up to the books and had to write their own stories.
All right.
Basically, this is now how the writers of the show would like it to end. They do have some notes from George R. R. Martin, but probably not like the specifics.
Right. You can't lead them in any direction.
Right. But also, the show, like, for those of you who say the books are better than the show, when a new book comes out, I'll let you know, but we have a complete end cap, end parentheses, here's everything in a series. And for me, the finality of it will make it complete. More than this, maybe he'll eventually finish the book.
Well, the ball starts rolling again on Sunday.
Yes.
That dragon emerges from the ice and starts killing people on Sunday. I guess it kind of
the kid will,
Arya
will start stabbing people on Sunday.
Stabbing incest continues on
big
Sunday.
Big war scenes will start happening. Anyway,
swords
just as
being pointy.
Yes, just as a note, there are only going to be 6 episodes. 3 directors.
They're all extra long.
And they're each an hour and a half long.
Woo!
Roughly, give or take.
Strap in like for movie night.
These are movie
theatrical level presentations here.
So they're also theatrical level budgets. As we've noted before, the 3 directors are the show creators, D.B. Weiss and the other guy.
Yeah, that dude.
Damien Benioff.
Yeah.
The guy who directed Battle of the Bastards, and the guy who directed the Battle of Blackwater. Those are 3 of the biggest battles. Right? Well, those 2 are the biggest battles ever put to the screen.
Also, your Emmy winners.
And your Emmy winners.
Which is key.
Yeah.
You're going after that.
And it's your series creators as well.
All right.
So, there's 6 episodes, but they're going to be like pristine 6 episodes. This is quality over quantity you want here.
Well, we think. We haven't seen them yet. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's not count our dragon eggs before they hatch here.
Right. Well, I'll say this. Normally it's 10 episodes, but they gave up on, or they didn't give up on it. They conceded.
They gave up on it.
They conceded,
whatever.
They conceded the 10 episodes to focus on just 6 episodes.
Yeah. So
and 1 episode will be the largest scale battle in existence. It took a month to shoot it.
We'll find out what happens on Sunday, so get excited. Or got excited.
Yeah.
Got it.
Got.
All right. That's it for television news.
All right.
Did you watch any television? You have one thing down here.
Yes.
You finished another season. Quality Sterling K. Brown entertainment.
Yes. Speaking of Sterling K. Brown and that guy from This Is Us.
This
is
the
finale of This Is Us.
All right. So you've slogged through another season.
Yes.
How much did you cry?
How much did I cry?
Like overall tops. Like what's your number?
I think one episode I got teary-eyed, but I didn't cry like I did in the first 2 seasons. According to the series showrunner, this is the midpoint. We're halfway through with what he considers to be the story he wants to tell.
All right.
Which means we have about 2 to 3 more seasons left of This Is Us. That put it at 6. It still got me. I'm still going to watch it. It's kind of reaching that tipping point of now this is becoming a chore rather than I'm learning stuff and I want to see what happens to these characters.
That's where I'm at with Riverdale, so welcome to the club.
Yeah. But when it comes back, I'm going to watch it. But, that's a fall premiere. It's still worth watching. If you want to catch up on Hulu, please do. Talking specifically to you, Doctor, if you want to watch it. But also anyone else, it's on Hulu. Because NBC, it's fine. The first 2 seasons are like quality television.
It's just funny because people who have been long viewers of our show probably can rewind the tape to the first season where you're talking so highly of it, like how amazing it was.
Yeah.
And just now to hear you just go, it's fine.
Well, because it's hit a stride. It's hit its own.
It peaked.
It's hit its own. I guess we want to say peak. Its own routine. You realize that what they're showing you isn't really the whole story of what they're showing you. They're doing more flash forwards now than flashbacks.
Yeah.
They're trying new stuff, but it's not super engaging.
Fair enough. Right.
It's kind of losing that lack of mystery of what's going to happen.
It's too bad.
Yeah. I hope it finds it again.
All right. Anything else? Any new television? Season
yeah,
2 of Sabrina's out. I have not watched any of it yet.
I saw that is out. No, I don't think so. In terms of me watching serialized television.
You got nothing?
Nope. I did watch a little bit of Star vs. the Forces of Evil.
Are you caught up?
No. I'm only like 4 episodes in.
Yeah, because there were another 2. They've been doing 2 episodes, and with that show, that really means 4 episodes every week.
Oh, by the way, speaking of that, what's up with the Sunday at 8 a.m. time slot?
I don't know.
That is weird.
They send it to, I think they programming-wise, they were like, where do we put this?
It's like they're just going to put it out there, and if you want to watch it, you'll record it. Otherwise...
They probably look at the numbers and probably realize how much of their audience just streams it.
Yeah, streams it or records it.
It's the Cartoon Network problem, which is like those shows are so like serialized at this point that they can't. The network wants to just replay them all the time, but the network can't replay something that won't make any sense to viewers coming into it blind.
Right, it'd be the Firefly effect.
And so yeah, it's that same problem. And so yeah, the networks don't have a way to solve that problem, and so they just give up and basically put them in death slots when they actually air, and then don't tell you when they're scheduled or bomb them, and then expect most of the views to come from their
right, well, because it's a cartoon. They expect it to be one-offs.
That's why Cartoon Network plays nothing but freaking Teen Titans Go, because it's the only show in their stable that they can reliably replay.
Right, it's one-offs.
Yeah.
You don't need you don't even know where in the story they are.
But anyways, Star remains to be good.
Yep.
So yeah, check that out. All right, that's it.
All right. Yes, one last thing in TV, as I'm currently thinking about it, because it is 7 o'clock ish, and that means Jeopardy time. And if you have not signed up yet, tomorrow, hopefully you're listening to this, is the last day to sign up for the Jeopardy online test.
Yes.
I've already signed up. I've already taken the test. Hopefully I get a call.
Hopefully.
The test, I feel, was both hard, challenging, and some of it easy. It's a variety. It's a mix. I feel like I got half right, like I knew. The other half was like, oh, I know this, but it's like kind of tailing in, and you only get 15 seconds to answer.
Yeah, that's always what happens.
And you got to type it out. That's
it's a pain.
Yeah.
That's how they weed out the bad people.
Oh, you calling me bad?
No.
Okay.
Yes. Maybe. All right. That does it for television news, which means we go into now cancellations and renewals.
All right. What am I no longer watching?
Well, Netflix is bringing back Afterlife for a second season.
I think that's After Comma Life?
But you do not have the comma.
Okay. Maybe just be Afterlife.
Afterlife. That's what it would be. How I would have read that with comma.
Okay.
Better Call Saul is coming back to AMC, but it will be delayed. Its season 5 premiere will be delayed to 2020. So no Better Call Saul episodes, at least new episodes, in 2019.
Probably expect that as a January 2020 release. Like ringing the new year, leading up with it, Better Call Saul, and then the premiere of new Better Call Saul episodes.
And then lastly, in renewals, no cancellation this week, AMC is also bringing back Killing Eve for a third season of that show.
Yes, Sandra Oh just won Best Actress for that show, so makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. Although I didn't know that was an AMC show. I thought that was a BBC thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
This may be a typo then. Let's say BBC America.
Okay, well, I looked it up and it said on AMC.
Maybe they've been replaying it on AMC?
Maybe that's what I
some sort of distribution. I don't know. But those are your renewals. Deaths, we have 4, unfortunately. First up, Barry Malkin, age 80, film editor, responsible for, among others, The Godfather Part 2, Big, and Rumblefish.
There's some good,
just
good
talking
films.
About Big.
Yeah.
Roberta Haynes, age 91, actress, was in things including Return to Paradise, High Noon, and Gun Fury. Jim Glazer, age 82, country music artist, responsible for You're Getting to Me Again. And Marilyn Smith, age 89, a Hall of Fame golfer. She was a champion back in 1963 and 1964.
Ooh, that's quite a while ago.
So there you go. All right, that does it for deaths, which means we move now into music, and I hand this over to you.
Yes, and we start music, or the Billboard, with the Billboard charts.
We always do.
Billboard.
Weird week of the Billboards this week.
I know, because I called this. I said Ariana Grande would not be at the number one slot.
Right, but I don't think you would have ever seen this song coming.
No.
I had to tell you about this existing.
Wait, you told me about this song?
Yes, I did.
When did you tell me about this song?
After the podcast, or not like after the podcast directly, but like a few days. The last time I saw you, I think then on Saturday.
On Saturday?
Yeah. I think I mentioned this to you, and you told me you hadn't heard about this.
I haven't heard about this. But I did actually had a conversation with my brother today as I was driving up here about this.
Yes.
About,
all right.
Is this country or not?
Tell the people what we're talking about.
Okay, so we're talking about Old Town Road by Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas X. I want to believe it's a
Nas
like,
X.
like Nas, like the rapper.
Okay, Lil Nas X.
So he's a rapper.
But this is a.
But for all intents and purposes, this is a country song. It is.
I don't know if this is a country
trap
song. I don't know if this is a country song.
So okay. So
We're just having a fun time with this.
Here's my question for you: what denotes a country song? What are the required elements of a country song?
You gotta lose your house, lose your dog, lose your wife.
No.
No,
I mean like.
Okay, it's got to be about drinking. It's got to be about boating. It's got to be about.
I feel like you're defining a modern country song, not like. Okay. Anyways, what I'm getting at, we're wasting time.
I know.
But what I'm getting at is this song is about
a horse
wandering around on your horse.
Yeah.
What could be more country than that? It's thematically very country.
Yes.
It just happens to not be the kind of person that they play on country radio,
so
aka not a white man.
Well, Darius Rucker says hi.
Also, Cowboy Troy, remember him?
Yes.
He says hi.
Yes. The Bigger Blacker Tour says hi.
Yes. But anyways, so yes, there's been much discussion on the internet about like why this isn't being played on country radio.
I guess that's why this is number one, as people will tune in like, what is this thing?
And yeah, and then like I guess it got co-signed by a country star this week, by Billy Ray Cyrus jumping on the track in a special version.
Yes, a remix version.
Yeah, I hesitate to say remix, but yeah, he jumps on a verse or two.
Yes.
And yeah, as to kind of lend his own like signature on it, basically saying, "Nah, I think this is legit. Like, I'm going to show you that this is legit," kind of thing. And yeah, it got enough people talking about it where yeah, it's like very like huge hit right now. Number one streaming song.
So yeah, it has the rhythm and the was it like the A-B sonnet style beat rhythm? Not beat rhythm, but the help me out here.
Like a rhyme scheme.
Yeah, the scheme. It has a scheme of a rap song.
It's in that kind of modern trap kind of wheelhouse in its beat.
Mm-hmm.
But the song is essentially a country song. Like if you took the lyrics, literally like took them out and put them in a country song, no one would bat an eye.
So I looked him up on Spotify, which is where I played it.
Mm-hmm.
He only has the one song. Well, now two.
Yeah.
His profile picture is him in denim and a country hat.
Right.
Everything underneath it said other songs you may like is country listed. Yeah. But when I played the song, the next song after it was a strict rap song.
Yeah.
By I forget who. Actually, thanks a lot.
I think this is just further evidence of the mono genre. Everything is becoming everything.
You love your mono genre.
I love the mono genre. It's true. It's a real thing.
It is.
Catch. But yeah. So this, however you fall on it, it is your number one song this week.
Yeah.
All right. What else is in your top 5 singles?
Other song. Well, that's your number one song. Number 2 is Sunflower by Post Malone and Sway Lee. 3 is Seven Rings by Ariana Grande. 4 is Wow, period, by Post Malone.
Wow.
And 5 is Without Me by Halsey.
Yep.
Everything moved down.
Everything just moved down after the craziness of
Old Town Road. Yep.
Now, meanwhile, on your Billboard 200.
Meanwhile, on our Billboard 200, I've got to give you some high five, give you some praise, because you called this. I'm going to pick up the phone. I got to pick up the phone because you called it.
I called this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, no, last week.
But yeah, technically.
It feels like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, but you called it. Because you did not give your review of it
No,
last
yeah,
week.
I held on because I knew it would be number one this week.
Yes, so number one, beating around the bush here, is When We Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? By Billie Eilish. Number two is Victory Lap by Nipsey Hussle, getting that
Yes, posthumous
bump.
bump.
We have Thank You, Comma Next by Ariana Grande at 3. Honky Tonk Time Machine by George Strait at 4. And Death Race for Love by Juice WRLD
Yes.
at number 5.
Before we continue on, I have to interject here. You might notice that last week's number one, the record by Nav, has completely dropped off the top 5.
Yes.
Also, I have now listened to it.
Oh, so what is... do you want to do it now or do you want to do it in
I
your...
might as well just do it real quick.
Okay, why was this at the top?
Because, hey, remember all those weeks I was talking about those people who want to be Future?
Yes.
Add this guy to the list. Except he has an additional layer to him. So he's part of the XO squad, and if that sounds familiar, that may be because you've heard a Drake or The Weeknd song before. He is in league with that group of people.
Ah.
And so he actually has access to some pretty good production. There are some sounds on this record that sound like peak Drake, like production-wise.
Okay.
Like when you think of like Take Care era Drake, like 2011, there's a lot of production that reminded me of that record. The only thing is that the actual songs are not as good. The actual songs kind of fall into that kind of that Future role. In fact, there's even a song, guess what? The Future shows up.
Hey!
Because Future has to do a feature on Future feature has to be on every single one of these things. That being said, he does have his moments where he tries to do some more Drake-like sing-song stuff, but like he's not as good at it. And also just the subject matter. He uses his horniness as a crutch, and like most of the lyrics on this thing are just about all the things he's doing with women. And it's just like, all right, it's an hour in 10 minutes, another stupidly long record, just bloated with tracks. Again, not for me. It's pretty much just rewind everything I've said about these records before, like the Boogie with the Hoodie, and then the 21 Savage, and just all of those. Just loop them all because it's the same thing again. It's just a different kind of take on that same idea.
Okay, but that idea is hot, which is why it's getting...
people love it, and
track
people will play it on Spotify. Meanwhile, speaking of things that people will want to play on Spotify, I have to talk about this week's number one.
Okay.
Before we move on.
All right.
So, Billie Eilish.
Yes.
So do you know anything about Billie Eilish?
Do I know anything?
Yeah, personally.
I know that's how you say its name. Her name.
Wow. Shots fired.
Her name.
Thank you.
Okay. But I did also listen to this record. And
Did?
Yes.
What did you think about this? I am very curious.
The first half of this record, I thought, wow, this is just Reputation by Taylor Swift.
Okay, it's funny that you say this, because my first two takes were kind of like two sides of a coin. I said she's Lord's sad younger sister.
Yeah.
or she's the person that Taylor Swift was trying to be and failed at being on Reputation.
Okay.
Yeah, that is who Billie Eilish is. She's a genuine, actual teenage girl with genuine, actual teenage girl problems instead of Taylor Swift, who pretends that she's still a teenage girl. And but she's also what you would call now, I guess, a Gen Zer.
I guess that's where we're at, yeah.
And so she's depressed and medicated.
Yes, there's a legit song about Xanax. Wait, is it Xanax? Yeah, Xanny.
About how
Xanny.
she doesn't need them, though. In a way. So, she's saying, I don't need this to have a good time. But the entire album kind of sent me down kind of a rabbit hole. And I ended up having a conversation with someone after I listened to this about, my feelings about this new generation of, young, musical artists. Mm-hmm. And how I'm worrying that there's almost like a fetishization about sadness and depression and substance abuse. And it got us into a whole conversation about there was this big movement, and I'll try to be as brief as possible, but I wanted to at least bring this up in the podcast. Yeah. There was this movement that at least I thought was happening at the beginning of this decade, and they're the early 2010s through to I think fairly recently, among like millennials that was all about positivity. It was like all about like these like, oh no, we're going to have this radical kindness. We're going to it's not
the Katy Perry.
It's not cool anymore to not care. It's like caring became cool. You had stuff like Steven Universe.
Mm-hmm.
You had things in the popular culture mindset that were bringing this positivity, and like I feel like the Gen Z stuff that's happening, like these younger kids who are like starting to make art, are rejecting that. And I know that a lot of the nihilism comes from this like political climate. I know a lot of it comes from growing up in these times that are harsher than they were, say, in the Obama years for us.
Well, yes. I mean, you have that difference of hope. We can do anything. Hope.
Yeah.
And versus now where literally lies after lies after lies. What is going on?
But that conversation kind of evolved into, well, maybe, and the person I was talking to, they posited that maybe this is just generational change. Like they noted, like it's the change that happened between where like the 90s culture was also about nihilism in a lot of ways. It was also about rejecting basically rejecting the positivity of like.
Well, it's why we got grunge.
The 70s. It was basically taking like everything that 70s, like 60s and 70s culture had brought up as idealized and like basically questioning it. I mean, grunge is essentially the counter to classic rock. Or at least it was, which is now ironic because they play classic rock. They play Nirvana on classic rock stations. But anyways,
when did Nirvana become classic rock?
Apparently, within the last 10 years. But yeah, so I think the ultimate conclusion we got to in that conversation was Billie Eilish told me I was old. Is basically I realized that I was old because I'm thinking about. You say that. I can't relate. I just cannot relate.
It's funny you
say
that because as I was listening to the song, I was like, "This sounds like Reputation. If this sounds like Lord, and if this is what's popular, I am no longer in with the popular."
And I had that same moment. I had that same like moment of reckoning where it was like, "Is this me like wanting them to like adhere to? Is it?" Am I having my Principal Skinner know it's the kids that are wrong moment? Or am I just getting really old?
No, the kids are wrong. Don't worry. we are right.
Yeah, so anyways, I thought that was like an interesting thing. As for the actual music, I think the production's really well done. I think there were moments on that record that I was like, this sounds really, really cool. But yeah, I just had a problem getting into just the bleakness of it all. Like, Lorde tackled a lot of the same kind of subjects on Melodrama, but I feel like Lorde is like a tad bit closer to our age bracket.
Yeah.
And so there's still like this element of hope to it. Like I think the example of that is in her the song that she uses to close Melodrama, Perfect Places. Like the chorus is like, we're striving for these perfect places. We don't know what the hell they are. Like we don't even know if they exist. But that's what we're doing. We're living in the moment because there's this goal. Billie Eilish seems to be just, and I'm assuming her, like, a lot of people around her age, there's this, are basically, it's so bleak that they don't have that goal. Like, there's this recurring, this is the last point I'll make, is like, there's this recurring theme through the record where she constantly references her friends, like the fact that she's had to deal with a lot of deaths, like her friends dying, and that she doesn't necessarily blame drug overdoses. She just treats it as this blasé thing that just happens in life. She said multiple times in different songs, she's just like, "Oh yeah, people are dying around me. I'm just used to it now." And like, I can't imagine that kind of life, and I can't like commiserate with it because like it's so far out from my personal worldview. I'm like, I don't know, it's just something I just cannot relate to. But yeah, it's a completely different kind of, it's just like completely like a lack of any kind of positivity and like, I don't know. It was weird. It was a weird moment.
Matt, we're old.
Yeah, we're getting old.
We're old.
I
can't
tell you.
I listened to it. I couldn't connect with any of it. It just sounded like noise, and I think that's
I think that a lot of the production work is very good, and she is very like smart with her choices. It's just that it's not for me.
It's not. Yeah, it's not for me.
All right.
All right.
Now we can finally move on. What is for you? AKA, what are this week's new releases?
This week's new releases. I don't know. I thought we were still listening to last week's new releases.
No, what are this week's new releases?
Okay. Well, this week, as we try and pick up the beat here, thanks for letting me down.
We'll get back to more thoughts later.
Yes. But as for new releases, we have Anderson.Paak with Ventura. What are they trying to say?
We get it. You're old.
As if the balding didn't give it away. We also have Bibio with Ribbons. Broken Social Scene with Let's Try the After, Volume 2. BTS, that is the K-pop group, BTS, with Map of the Soul, Persona. No number after Persona. This isn't one of those. This is just the name of the album.
Just Persona.
Maybe we'll get to Persona 5 eventually, but the first one first.
We gotta get through the first one.
Then we have Glenn Hansard with This Wild Thing.
Oh, okay.
And then we have LSD with LSD.
So you know what this is.
Yes, this is drugs.
No.
This is LSD sound system?
This is like a super group. This involves Sia and two other artists, I think.
One beginning with an L, one beginning with a D?
Probably. But yeah, this is some sort of combination. I'd seen it on my recently played, and so I thought you would listen to a single off of this, and so that's why I thought you knew what this was.
Oh, maybe I did.
Maybe you did. Well, we don't need to dwell.
Okay.
We can move on.
All right. We also have Melissa Etheridge. Yes, Melissa Etheridge. With The Medicine Show. And finally, The Chemical Brothers with No Geography.
I think that's geography.
Geography.
Okay.
I just need to inject some interesting stuff in here. Because we're going to talk about some music news.
Hooray! Hooray.
And first up in music news, we're going to talk about the posthumous number 2 on the Billboard charts, Nipsey Hussle.
Right, yes. So, of course, following the sad news of his death, they did find the shooter. He is getting his due, I guess you could say. But not only that, he is being commemorated. Nipsey Hussle is.
Yes, the intersection of Slauson Avenue and Crenshaw Boulevard will be renamed in honor of the late Nipsey Hussle. The intersection is near the site where Hussle legal name, Ermias Ashton.
Good job.
I believe
it's close enough.
I believe that's close enough, and I believe that's why he went by Nipsey Hussle. Was murdered in front of his store, Marathon Clothing. An LA City Council member, Marquise Harris Dawson, announced that the intersection will become Ermias Nipsey Hussle Ashton Square. That is a mouthful.
I'm sure most people will just call it Nipsey Hussle Square.
I am pretty sure people will call it NHAS. ENHA
No.
Square? NHAS Square?
You just made it more complicated by shortening it.
Possibly. Anyways, the decision came off the heels of an online petition to change the intersection's name in honor of Nipsey Hussle.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is really quick.
It is,
which was surprising me.
Is it just the corner or the intersection?
The intersection. So I think they're using that term to say they're not actually going to replace the streets.
No, I think
signs,
they'll put
the signs will remain the same. It'll just be like a plaque probably nearby that'll say that this is what this is.
Probably.
That's my guess.
I mean, just rename that store center, whatever.
Yeah, or the entire maybe the little center there.
Yes. Well.
Yeah, it's a good way to remember.
It's a good way. Yeah. All right. Moving on.
All right.
It's festival season.
It is.
Festivus is upon us.
Yes, deep into festival season. Except one of the major draws to one of the biggest festivals has dropped out.
So, while most people will be going to see Grammy Award winning Casey Musgraves at Coachella
yes.
for Album of the Year, Golden Hour
Yes.
at Coachella.
Yes.
I'm going to be watching on YouTube, by the way. By the way, you can watch all Coachella streams on YouTube.
Yeah, it's
if you decide not to go.
It's the much less smelly alternative.
It's also the much less cheaper alternative.
Less cheaper? Way more cheaper.
I think you have to pay the YouTube Red to watch it.
Oh, really? Do you?
Maybe because it's live.
I don't
but
think you did last year.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Are they changing the rules?
They may be changing the rules. They may not. I'm not completely certain on that.
Hope not.
But yeah, YouTube will be live streaming the Coachella concert.
But who will I not be able to see?
Beyonce.
Well, also.
Sister.
There you go. You got there.
Yes. I had to trip over some stuff. But Solange has said so long to Coachella.
Wait, okay, real quick. I did not read this copy. Was that you or is that Variety?
No, that was me.
Okay. Thank God.
Why?
I was worried for a second that was written in a professional story. Okay. It was close.
I'm sorry. I'll make the joke where I
You're
can.
terrible Solange joke.
Yes.
All right.
I will make it wherever I can.
Says sayonara.
Yes. Solange has canceled her Coachella performance due to, quote, major production delays.
Major production delay?
Yes. The festival announced Sunday evening, which is weird because literally it's a week away from the concert.
Yeah.
Quote, due to major production delays, Solange will unfortunately no longer be performing at this year's festival.
Yeah.
She sends her sincerest apologies and looks forward to performing at Coachella in the future. I wonder if she's pregnant because this is what prevented Beyonce from performing.
All right. I don't know if that's necessarily the case.
But it happened to Beyonce.
I am more... when I saw this story, my thought process went to a couple things. My first thought is that maybe there was some sort of element of her stage design that she was having a hard time with actual producers at production, at Coachella, which is why they use production delays.
Right.
Because the production delays are not on her side. Because her part is basically to show up and have them put on the show she wants. It has to be some sort of complications between her and Coachella's staff.
But if they can do whatever it is they did for Kanye, for Beyonce, for Lorde, for Future, or whoever that guy was with the ninja, or The Weeknd.
I don't know what you're talking about. Are you thinking of Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick Lamar.
Thank you. I was like,
I was getting there.
You're getting there slowly. You were like square in. You were like the circle in a battle royale. You were getting there.
But yeah, they had a very elaborate stage setup.
Well, I just don't know. This comes out of nowhere, and it's so weird. But also, my second thought is either that or also maybe somebody finally listened to that Solange record because it is very, very good. But I do not know how that will work at a festival stage.
Well, I mean,
it's a different
Casey Musgraves isn't
kind of
really a...
Yeah, and that's the other question. You said having seen her at Stagecoach, it was not the vibe that the crowd was ready for.
Right, but she also wasn't a headliner. Solange is a headliner.
Well, technically, she's not a headliner. She was not the biggest name of her night.
Wait, I thought she was the biggest name of her night.
No, she was not.
Okay.
She was on the next level. She was a headliner, not one of the headliners, if that makes any sense.
All right. I thought I saw her name at the top.
No, she wasn't the capitalized name.
Okay.
But yeah, regardless, it's a big loss.
It is. But for those of you who still plan on going to the festival, because this will not draw you away, you can see other okay acts.
Tell me who I can see in theory.
I guess if you want and spend $1,000 or whatever the ticket is.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure now it's $1,000.
Probably ridiculous.
But don't buy it off Craigslist.
Yeah.
Don't do that. No. But I mean, I guess you could see Childish Gambino.
You could.
You
could. His final tour appearance.
You could see Tame Impala
if you want.
You could see Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess those are some decent headliners.
Yeah. I would say so.
Yeah. Or, if you're not into them, I mean, you could also see Janelle Monáe.
Yeah.
Khalid.
You did this last week.
I'll do it every single time. Zed, Weezer, J Balvin,
I like how you're presenting all of these as questions.
Billie Eilish,
I don't know, maybe?
Kanye West.
Well, that has an asterisk on it.
That's a big question mark.
What is Kanye doing? He's not invited.
No,
He
but
invited himself.
yeah. So he will be preaching instead, as he will do a special performance on Easter service.
Yeah, they technically announced this last week. We did not talk about it on the podcast.
Well, that's because we're going to cover it right now.
But yeah, this is a thing that's happening.
Yes, Kanye will perform Easter Sunday.
A quote, a Sunday service, unquote, is how he's been referring to it.
I guess if you want to go see that. I wonder if he's going to play I Am a God or Easter Sunday.
No, probably not.
No?
I imagine this will probably be
Black
like
Skinhead?
Spirituals. I imagine that this will probably have ultralight beam in it.
Probably.
Like, he'll probably have some gospel singers. I bet Chance the Rapper will show up.
In India, maybe not.
Sure, why not?
It's too white. Coachella is too... No. I can't say that.
I don't know where you're going to go with that. Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah,
That's a weird thing.
Yeah, you don't have Casey Musgraves in this list here.
I didn't write it.
Okay, weird. They don't have Casey Musgraves in this list here.
Thank you. You don't blame me.
I mean, current Grammy Award-winning Album of the Year artist Casey Musgraves and Country Music Album of the Year artist or female artist.
Yeah, I didn't actually cover this, but yes, the ACMs, the Academy of Country Music Awards, also happened this week. Casey took home Album of the Year there as well.
Yes,
she did the three-peat.
Yes, she three-peated. However, Entertainer of the Year, which is the big nominee or big winner there.
That's the CMAs, not the ACMs.
No, this was the CMAs.
No, this was the ACMs.
Well, they do Entertainer of the Year.
Yeah, like a while ago.
No, I just watched it.
Oh, they do
on.
Entertainer of the Year.
Yes,
Both?
there's Entertainer of the Year.
Why are there two then?
I don't know.
They don't need to be two of those things.
She wasn't nominated for Entertainer of the Year.
No, of course not.
No, it was all guys nominated.
It's traditionally all men.
Yes.
There was that 1 year at the CMAs where Taylor Swift won.
Right, for some reason. But no, this year it went to, oh God, why am I blanking on his name? Not Country, but Country.
That's literally all of them. Luke Bryan.
No.
Jason Aldean.
No. They were nominated, but they didn't win. He's married to Nicole Kidman.
Keith Urban.
Yeah, that guy. Because Nicole Kidman was there.
Okay, you remember Nicole Kidman, but
because she was there, and she was wearing that super revealing dress.
Oh, that's why you remembered. I see.
Yeah.
Got it.
Also, Casey Musgraves was there. That's also what I remember here.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I forgot. Speaking of these people,
this is the most rambly I think the music segment has ever been.
Probably.
Just wanted to say that.
But I just remembered. I forgot this in sports, but Alex Morgan scored her 100th goal.
Hey, congratulations!
Talking about people I'm constantly looking at.
Hey,
she scored a nice goal.
Just keep remembering, your fiance is watching this.
Yeah, she is.
Anyways.
Yes, right. My fiance is watching this, and that brings us to thoughts.
All right, so what did you listen to that you haven't already talked about?
So I need to make a correction.
Oh, we don't have a correction segment on this show.
Well, I do.
What kind of podcast has correct? Actually,
no.
Plenty do.
Okay, so last week I was talking about Greetings from Jake, the Jake Owen soundtrack. And it had that one song on it that I said was super familiar.
Right.
So I did a little research on it.
Is it a cover?
No.
No?
It is the exact same song. I heard he premiered this song last year.
Got it. Okay.
So like 1 year ago.
You had just heard it.
And he was at Stagecoach last year, and I heard it there.
Got it.
Live. And it didn't come out until this year's album, which is why it sounded so familiar.
I see.
It's because he had already put the song out.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, besides that, sticking with country, I have thoughts on other stuff.
All right, what you got?
Brooks and Dunn.
Right, this thing.
Put out a new album of their hits. They played the hits with current country artists. They rebooted their songs. Guess
what it's called? Reboot. Get it?
It's called Reboot.
Boots.
Boots, 'cause country.
Yep.
Yeah. They got a bunch of country hits artists
I
on
listened
there.
to one of these. I listened to the Casey Musgraves feature,
Yeah.
Neon Moon.
Yes,
Very, very good.
it is.
It seems like she got her fingerprints on the actual production of that thing. It sounds like it could have been slotted right in on Golden Hour.
It feels like a lot of these artists, these artists, put their own take. They didn't just want to do a sing along with Brooks and Dunn.
Right.
They put their own take on it.
Which is
Thomas
smart.
Rhett did My Maria. Not Thomas Rhett. Yeah, Thomas
That
Rhett.
sounds right.
Yeah, Thomas
That
Rhett.
sounds like a guy. You're probably correct.
Yeah. He did his own take on My Maria, and it definitely sounds like a Thomas Rhett song, but it also sounds like My Maria.
Brooks and Dunn.
Brooks and Dunn.
So, are all the songs? Since I only listened to the one song,
Neon Moon.
I have a question about how all these work. Do all of them have the featured artist, and then out of nowhere, Ronnie Dunn creeps up on them
Yes,
from behind
for the chorus. Yes.
Because that's what I imagined happening. I imagined Casey just in the recording booth, and then Ronnie Dunn with his majestic mullet comes in and just goes sneaks up next to the mic and just starts singing the harmony.
Yeah. Yes, Brooks and Dunn come in for the chorus part.
Also, my question, since he isn't doing any of the singing, what is Kix Brooks doing? Is he just sitting there watching while this all happens?
He's producing it. He's on the other side of the glass. But that album is out if you want to listen to Brooks and Dunn modernized.
Yes.
Or rebooted, however you want to put it.
Rebooted.
All right.
It's fun.
I also listened to Amidst the Chaos by Sarah Bareilles.
Yes, a new Sarah Bareilles record.
Yeah, new Sarah Bareilles record. This song made me feel like I was in a jazz cafe.
Well, you mean album.
Yes, this album made me feel like I was in a jazz club.
Are you telling me this is something that they would be playing in a Starbucks?
Yes.
Okay.
Instead of playing in a Starbucks, be playing in any little coffee house. I'd say if Sarah Bareilles was not a big name, this would be the album put on the piano waiting for you to come pick it up.
That is such a specific thing.
It is. She is such a specific artist.
Somebody is
she
playing
is
this at the Nordstrom's during Christmas time, is what you're saying.
Yeah, she is
Right.
a singer-songwriter. This is a very singer-songwriter album. That's all you can say about it. It's,
That is depressing.
the songs are kind of depressing.
No, no.
Well, I know it's not. There's no real upbeat song on it. It's just kind of there. But I did enjoy listening to it.
Okay.
It was a nice big change of pace. Super jazzy vibes I got listening to it,
can see
especially
that.
on the piano. There's no super brass instruments coming in, but it definitely got a jazz vibe listening to it.
Okay.
But a cool jazz vibe.
So it's like an easy listening kind of thing.
Definitely an easy listening to album. Like I said, definitely something you can put in the background, and you're not going to worry about it, but you're also not going to necessarily pay super close attention to it. It's like a baseball game.
Wow. Sarah Bareilles makes the baseball game of music.
Well, like I said, it's like a jazzy kind of album,
Alright.
where it's smooth listening.
Oh,
Easy listening.
That sounds okay, actually.
Yeah, it's okay.
It sounds relaxing. There are things there's times in
I've
life where you
listened
need
to
something
worse.
relaxing.
If we're putting this on a scale, I have
Yeah.
listened to worse.
I mean, haven't we all?
Yes, we have. But
Anyway.
we need to kind of start wrapping this thing up.
I know, we're going long. We have one more segment, though, and it's a video game.
All right, I think we can go through this pretty quickly.
I think so.
Do you have any other thoughts on music?
I listen to some other stuff, but it's not mainstream enough to talk about.
Okay, any other music tidbit news stuff? No.
No, really.
All right.
Let's keep going.
Okay, let's keep going.
Video
then.
games.
Video games.
Let's talk about some James.
All right, we have new releases for video games.
What are our new releases this week?
Well, you could be playing Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice for the Switch.
Yes, this has already been released on Xbox and PlayStation 4. If you're dying for a Switch version of this, here's your chance.
All right, we also have Earth Defense Force: Iron Rain for the
Yes.
PlayStation.
Another Earth Defense Force game, so a lot of shooting giant bugs.
We also have World War Z for the PlayStation and Xbox and PC.
This
is not related to the movie or the book.
No, this is, for what I understand, has been long gestating and was kind of in development hell for a while. but yes, is based independently on the books.
Okay. Based on the books, not on the film.
I think so.
Okay.
And it was supposed to launch alongside the movie way back when, and I think things happened.
Yeah. And as we noted,
didn't go through.
And as we noted 2 weeks ago,
yeah,
that deal, there's no longer going to be a World War Z 2, which I guess is when they
right. That got
wanted
canned. And this one is like, I guess, the one thing that came out of it.
I guess so. We also have Anno 1800.
Yep.
For the PC.
Another one of those historically accurate strategy games.
Yep. And Final Fantasy X and X2.
That's
HD
10 and 10
remaster.
Those are the HD remasters.
For the Xbox and Switch.
Yes, they've already been on Sony platforms. They're coming for the first time to Switch and Xbox.
Yep. And that's it.
Those are your new releases.
Well, let's get right into
news.
And we start with the Microsoft or the Xbox.
Yes.
As Microsoft will be airing all new episodes. Yes, this is an episodes of Inside Xbox.
Yes.
On Tuesday, April 16th. Is this their version of a Treehouse?
Give or take, yes. I mean, all three platform holders now have this kind of thing, a direct-to-consumers video series.
Okay.
Then this is Microsoft's.
All right.
They've been doing it for a while.
Well, you can see this on April 16th at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time.
The only reason why we're mentioning it is
because they will talk about its plans for E3 coming up in 2 months.
They are the only of the three platform, or I guess now 4 platform holders, unofficial, that are actually having a presence at E3.
Yes.
Show-wise.
Yes, they will announce their plans for E3 and Xbox Fan Fest. The hour-long show will also share some Xbox Game Pass news and give more information on their basically one of only exclusive games, Sea of Thieves, anniversary update.
Yeah.
There will be first details and footage from the Warhammer Chaos Bane beta, which is a great name.
That is a good name.
And an exclusive look at Bethesda's upcoming first-person shooter, Rage 2.
Yes.
More Rage.
That's not the subtitle. You made that up.
Yes, Rage 2 Rager.
No, still not.
Okay. Rage 2.
Cruise control.
Rage
all right, we're done.
2 Rage 2.
No.
The Coalition studio head, Rod Ferguson, will also stop by.
Those will be your Gears of War people.
That's He'll talk Gears of War 5.
Yes.
And there will be some Xbox One backwards compatibility announcements.
Oh.
I thought this was already backwards compatible.
Maybe there's more games that are
getting
added to that deal.
Plus, Xbox said there are, quote, several surprises we're saving for the show.
Is this when you think they are going to finally talk about the Game Pass and Xbox Live on Switch stuff?
Maybe.
You think this is when they do that at E3? Because I think that would make most sense at E3.
I believe this is where they reveal Scalebound.
They have...
Anna.
Hell no. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Scalebound is dead.
No.
Never
not
coming
dead.
back.
It is not dead. The developing team is still working on the game.
No, it doesn't exist.
Yes.
You're lying. Don't lie to our listeners like that. What else?
What else could they announce?
No, what else in news?
Oh, what else in news? We jump over from Microsoft to the Nintendo.
Just like what's going to happen at E3 when they announce that news.
Yes. I did actually leave one thing off of the new releases.
Okay.
That is the Nintendo Labo Toy-Con 4 VR kit for the Switch.
Yes, and the reason for that is because that ties directly into this story.
Yes. As The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, on the Switch, can soon be experienced in VR.
So yeah, this is kind of a follow-up. We talked about the Nintendo Labo VR stuff last week, just kind of telling you that it existed. This week, now we know it's coming out, and it's going to actually have compatibility with some of the existing Switch games, which we did not anticipate beforehand.
Right. VR can be turned on and off easily in Breath of the Wild, as demonstrated in the VR reveal trailer. See below. You have below here. Players will
Just immediately move on.
Players will not need to start a new game or a save file to experience the game in VR. This is super cool.
Yeah.
Super Mario Odyssey will also be getting an update which allows you to play a few of the mini missions in VR. Quote, with a free software update for the Super Mario Odyssey game and the Toy-Con VR goggles from the Nintendo Labo, Mario will be bite-sized bound bonus experienced in the simple, family-friendly VR. This is a bunch of copy jargon here.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So, I have two minds about this. I think that it's a good thing that they're updating existing games as little as they can, because
Yes.
of course they weren't developed with this in mind.
Yes.
But for to use with this VR. But there are two major issues with Nintendo's approach to VR that will ruin this for people. One, the pixel resolution of the Switch screen is extremely low. And the way that VR technology works is basically you have to split that resolution between the two sides of the screen when you divide it into
So
VR.
it's already going to be
So
split
you're
on a split.
You're halving the resolution of these already low resolution games.
Yes. Do note that when the Switch is HD, it's only HD when it's plugged in.
No, it's still 1080p even on that screen, on the handheld screen.
It's low.
But
like,
it's a lower pixel density.
Yeah.
Is how they get away with that resolution. The resolution's the same, but the complexity of the actual pixels in the game is at a lower quality. Because there's a little bit of performance boost, like you said, when it's in its dock. So yeah, that already diminished returns get even more diminished when you put it into VR mode. Second thing, there is no strap or like thing holding the Labo VR headset to your face. You basically have to hold it up the whole time, which means that there's going to be
there's going to be something.
No, that's not in the kit, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You have to make your own if you want to do that.
Okay.
The kit itself, you have to hold it to your screen. It's designed for little, as they say with the Mario, bite-sized experiences.
Okay.
So even though you can, in theory, play the entirety of Breath of the Wild in VR, will you want to when it will compromise your controls so much? Probably not.
Probably not.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
that's when you like put it on the ground and then just like stare at it like this.
Or you get a stand. Now bear with me for a second. You get a stand, you put the headset on the stand, and you get your table like right here so you're looking at it. Oh wait, Nintendo did that already? Oh wait, in 1995? Oh wait, it was called the Virtual Boy? Oh, whoops. Sorry.
Are you done showing your age for the 5th time this
I know, I'm old.
podcast?
I know. We get it. Anyways.
They
should really just put out ports of Virtual Boy games.
Anyways,
How great would that
this
be?
was kind of figured out that Nintendo could do VR with this, seeing as it is a portable screen and like
I almost hesitate to call this VR. I want to almost say
Joy-Con?
that this is quote VR unquote. Like every time we talk about the Nintendo stuff,
it's not VR
such
Lady
a different
worth.
thing.
It's not VR Lady worth.
No, it's not even VR Lady worth. I don't know. We'll see what else they do with it, but so far, it don't impress me much.
Okay.
To Shania. Yeah.
Thank you, Shania.
Yeah. Anyways,
that brings us to thoughts.
did you play any video games this week?
I beat Devil May Cry 5.
Oh, sweet. You finished it.
Yeah.
With
I had
all
to.
characters or just one?
Well, no, it's the story's intertwined, so it's not like
Oh, okay. So
it's
by
not-
the end of it, you end
by
up.
the end of it, I kind of beat it all.
Okay.
It's not like with Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, where it's
Mhm.
individual stories you have to complete from the beginning to end. No, it's you start as this character, then we'll switch you over to a different character, then we'll switch you over to a different character.
Okay.
That has storytelling problems.
You don't say.
Yeah, storytelling's not this strong suit.
No, not quite. Turns out.
I kind of figured out what the twist was in the game. I actually mentioned it last episode before I reached the twist. Because I just figured that out by playing the game. One thing I don't like that it does is it allows you to power up one of the characters, but then, spoiler alert, the character you powered up you eventually fight them. So it's like, wait, but then why did I spend all those points powering up? I could have powered up the guy I'm going to keep.
That's an interesting twist.
It is interesting,
Yeah.
but then why, like, all that stuff I invested into them, yeah, it helped me complete the levels that I played them as more easy.
But you
easier.
didn't anticipate he would be your enemy.
But I could have used those power levels on guys that are going to help me out in the end game.
Well, now you know for New Game Plus.
Yeah.
Well, probably not.
Probably not. I'm not going to play this thing more. But, yeah, I realized I watched some more introspectives on the Devil May Cry series.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out the one I did play was 3, because it's the one that introduced Virgil, and that's why I recognized that name.
Yeah, okay.
But, yeah, it's a solid game. This is technically the second in a reboot. Devil May Cry 4 was a soft reboot. Devil May Cry 5 is kind of like the official passing of the torch, and it definitely feels like that game.
Well, listen, in between those games, you also had DMC, which was in itself also a attempted reboot of the series.
Right. But
people
this
are very divided about.
Yeah, I feel like this, though, is a clean handoff.
Yeah.
You don't get that very much in video games or even in film. This feels like it's a clean handoff. Like, here, our story, like the story of Dante and Virgil, has concluded. They're going to go fight demons in the demon world now.
Okay.
It's up to new character Nero, who you've played with in 4 and kind of takes center stage in 5, will now essentially be the main character going forward. And I like that I felt that handoff. I felt like, yes, I got that conclusion with Dante and his story. Now I like what they're doing with Nero and the potential future stories they can tell with the Devil May Cry series.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you had fun with it.
So, me saying that this has story problems, yes. In between story beats, it has story problems. But the arcs in these games are still pretty solid.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And yeah, over-the-top action gameplay is still there.
Still does the Devil May Cry thing that you want it to do.
Yeah, but it does it really well. Oh, so yeah, while I was looking at introspectives, the game developer for this one, Devil May Cry 5, is the same company that did Heavenly Sword back on the PlayStation 3.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when Heavenly Sword came out and didn't have a sequel?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is that company.
Those guys.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
It is cool. I thought oh yeah, I remember that game.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a nice, all of a sudden reveal of what they've been doing. But yeah, they've been well in the hack and slash.
The character action game.
Character action game.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
But I like it.
And did you play anything else?
No, I didn't have time to play anything else.
I played nothing but more of that Picross game, the Konami Pixel Puzzle Collection.
Were you able to explain what Picross is?
Kind of. But yeah, I'm not even I'm like a third. It has a percentage in the corner about how much of the game you've completed, and I'm only a third in.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I have so much of this game, and it's so fun. It just never ends. It's just never-ending Picross. And it's the hint system gives you free hints.
Yeah.
Every 10 minutes, you just have to wait for a cooldown timer.
Yeah, okay.
It's probably the best mobile Picross game I've ever played.
Oh.
I'll put that. So if you guys if anybody's looking for a free, really good Picross game on a phone, this is totally it.
But if you're looking for just a free good game, I kind of downloaded Pandemic Inc. again.
Okay.
For the 5th time. I keep going back to it. I'll play it for a solid month and a half, realize it's taking up too much space, delete it, and then 6 to 8 months later, I'll oh yeah, that was a fun game. I'll just replay that.
Let's do that again.
Yeah. Apparently, the same company who did that came out with one for the body. It's called Bio Inc.
That makes sense.
So yeah. Well, it's funny because I thought it was bionic because it had the cross in the middle. It's it's the N or biotic, but no, it's Bio Inc.
That's funny. Okay, well that'll do it.
Yeah, and that will do it for us.
Yeah, turns out in the video games means the end of the podcast.
All right, plug away.
This has been the Media Boat Podcast. If you want to see us again, and I know you do,
yeah, you do.
We are live on YouTube every Wednesday night between 6 and 7 p.m. Pacific time. Tune in by going to youtube.com and searching for Media Boat Podcast. You'll find our page there. Like and subscribe, and you'll get notifications when we go live.
Yes, as we noted in the beginning, people chat with us, and you can chat back.
Yes, talk to us. Ask us questions. We'll answer them to our best ability. If you'd rather listen to the audio version and you don't want to see our faces, understandable. And second, you can find that you can find the audio version via podcast form on Apple Podcasts or any similar RSS feed driven podcast machine. Just type in Media Boat and you'll find us, hopefully. You can also see us on social media. On Twitter, we're at Media Boatcast. Facebook, search Media Boat Podcast. You'll find our page. Like and comment on there. You can find us on twitch.tv/MediaBoat when we're playing video games. You can find us on patreon.com/MediaBoat if you want to help us out with moolah, money. If you want to donate, you can donate as little as $1 a month to us. That goes straight into making the show better than it already is, and goes to us making content that we haven't even thought about yet. So please, go and help us out. We greatly appreciate any help that we can get. We are doing this completely for free. We are not gaining any money from this. We do not have ads, as you may have noticed. So Patreon is our one form of compensation for the work we put into this podcast, and we still have not earned any dollars. So please go on to patreon.com if you can. Donate as little as $1. That's like a fraction of a thing.
So I looked at our website today. Mm-hmm. Well, not our website, but our Podbean website. We have officially 202 episodes. Yeah. This is 170, which means we have about 30 special episodes scattered throughout there.
We have hours of entertainment, hours for you to discover. So please go on to any of the places I said just now. Discover, tell your friends, donate if you can. And yeah, we'll be back no matter what, though, next week for another episode. I will be gone, so Mike will be on his
Wait, you're leaving this week?
I will be leaving on Tuesday. So, yes, I will not be here for the usual podcast. So, yes.
All right.
Tune in next Wednesday for some sort of Media Boat podcast. Something will happen.
I'll get someone on here.
Yeah, we'll get somebody on there.
Yes.
All right. And so, for now, peace out.
All right. Thank you all for tuning in. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, YouTube after show. We're good. We're caught up. Bye-bye.